going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Murph's Boston Sports Talk. I am your host, James Murphy, and hopefully you had a fantastic week through Monday, Wednesday, and now today being Friday's episode. Hopefully you have a wonderful weekend planned, upcoming, or whatever it may be. I know for me personally, I am in a very good mood because the Boston Bruins are currently beating the Washington Capitals 4-1 here in Game 4 at the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Obviously, as you know, it is just so exciting. I have to go over all the official formalities because honestly, the beginning of the series, I did not expect that the Bruins would be on the brink of a 3-1 lead in this series. Holy smokes. This game has been absolutely incredible. It has been fantastic to watch. It was so stressful early, and we just missed an open netter. So yes, I am still currently watching the game. There's a little under 3 minutes left in the game, and I figured I'd get a jump on the recording so I can get this thing out there sooner than later. And there's really, that nerve kind of is, gone in the game because you're up 3 goals right now. Obviously, things could change. It is the National Hockey League. But, wait, there's a scrum in the net. Oh, my goodness. Wow, that was spooky. That was super spooky. Yeah, but right now the Capitals have an empty net. It is 6-on-5. And the Bruins are kind of weathering the storm at Marchand. Almost an empty netter. But yeah, so, as the game finishes up here, I will be kind of talking about the game. I do want to get into Game 3, but I'll get into that just a little bit later because obviously Game 4 is nice and fresh in all of our minds here. And of course, I will dabble in Game 3 just a little bit. We do have some points I do want to take away from it. Oh, wow, the defenseman got a block. Acting as the goalie. That was crazy. Wow. You just don't see that all too often. So, yes, Game 4, super nutty. Super, super nutty. There was no goals scored until the third period. It honestly felt like it was going to be a 1-0 game. One goal's going to win it. First goal could win it. And obviously, looking back at hindsight, that's going to be the case here for the Bruins being the team to score first. But no, they scored like 3 goals in literally like a handful of minutes. It was bizarre. And of course, my stream was buffering for the second and third goal. So I did kind of miss those, which I'm unfortunate to report. But I did see the highlights, of course. And they were some crazy goals. It was awesome. And I will tell you who scored those goals in case you missed the game. Or maybe you're listening to this, over the weekend or whenever. But, there's just a scrum right now in our own end. And I just want to make sure I don't miss anything, Oh, what a good hit. What a good hit for Waggy. And the Bruins cleared the puck. All right, so let me give you the quick goal by goal. We saw a goal from David Pastrnak, finally. Charlie Coyle, Matt Grzelcyk, and Brad Marchand yet again. Capitals are going to try to make a push here. Empty netter still for the past 3 minutes. Down 4-1. Bruins penalty is over, so we have 5 skated to their 6. And the Capitals are really trying to make something, but it's going to be a little too late, obviously. Oh, good. Oh, that was close. That was close to offsides. Come on. 18 seconds left. Tuukka, nice save. Tuukka played fantastic. I mean, he got tested for, he only faced 18 shots, 19. I mean, I don't know. The Capitals are just kind of barraging him right now, so it's a little bit skewed, but early in the game, there was only like 4 shots for the Capitals, almost more than midway through the second period. And nice job. Tuukka Rask, 54 career playoff victories, most in Bruins franchise history. So congratulations to Tuukka Rask. He played absolutely exceptional today, and I think relatively he's been really, really good for the Bruins overall. The 3 stars in the game: Connor Clifton with 3 hits and 3 blocks, Charlie McAvoy with 3 assists in his first 3-point playoff game, and David Pastrnak with a goal and an assist, which is his first goal of the series, like I mentioned. All right, now that the game is over, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of the game. So I did mention that Pastrnak finally scored a goal. He also had an assist, like I just mentioned, with 6 shots on goal. Good to see him kind of break out here, but he had, those 6 shots. A lot of them could have went in. I tweeted a little bit ago, midway through the third, that I was like, the Bruins could have like 10 goals in this game. Holy smokes. And I do want to make a quick correction from an earlier claim. I did say there was no goals in the first and the second periods. That is not true. Bruins did score late in the second period before the end of before the end of the second period, before the second intermission. So I do apologize for that false claim. Bruins did score 3 times in the third period, though, obviously totaling their 4 goals. Charlie McAvoy, like I mentioned, 3 assists, so that's really awesome to see him get really involved in the offense being a defenseman. Matt Grzelcyk scores again, which is his first goal since Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals against the St. Louis Blues 2 years ago. Sorry for bringing that up. It's just a fact. Taylor Hall, an assist. David Krejci, an assist. Brad Marchand, a goal as well. And that is going to be everything. Let's see. Craig Smith with 4 shots on goal. Mike Riley, 3. Sean Corrali, 3. Patrice Bergeron, 4. Krejci, 3 shots on goal. And like I mentioned, Pastrnak with 6 shots on goal. Tuukka Rask stopping 18 shots on 19 attempts for a .947 save percentage. Absolute stud in net tonight. He did let one go by. It was a power play, though, that Alexander Ovechkin scored. And speaking of the Alexander Ovechkin scoring, he had the lone goal for the Capitals in this game, assisted by Backstrom and Carlson as well. There was a massive amount of penalties in this game dished out today. It honestly felt like for a good period of time in the second and the third, it was just like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes for whatever, slashing, cross-checking, boarding, unsportsmanlike, whatever, interference. It was a good amount of interference calls today. But the Bruins were still able to stay true to their game, which is the next point I want to make. Bruins were able to play their game. The Capitals gave the Bruins their best shot early in this game to kind of switch the momentum to play the Capitals style of game. But the Bruins said, no, we're going to take your best shot, which they did in Game 3, that I will mention in a little bit. But the Bruins stayed true to, their mentality, their confidence, their physique, and their mindset, mentality to really just focus, take those hits, don't let it affect the game plan, and push forward with your game style. Really turned out well for the Bruins, obviously, since they did win. Duh. But the Bruins really able to just stay true to themselves is one of the big reasons why they're up 3-1 and not on the other side of things that the Capitals are being down 3-1. Bruins did face a lot of heavy hits from the entire Capitals team all game, whether it was in the first, second, or third, and I saw a lot of it come in the third when the Bruins did go up 3-0 at that time. Capitals were just really frustrated, pissed off, aggravated, just really trying to rail the Bruins players, whether it was into the ice, whether it was into the boards, or just, hit them just to hit them. Bruins were able to weather that, and they were able to push forward, although they did give up a goal, making it 3-1 at that time. Did not matter in the end as the Bruins did win 4-1. Really loved what I saw from this team tonight. They let nothing get past them. And like I mentioned, I really thought this was going to be a 1-goal game where it was like, 1-0 game, maybe a 2-1 game, because it was just so close, being 0-0 for so long. But then just 1 goal scored, and then another, and it was like, all right, let's go. We got the momentum. This series has all been about momentum, and the Bruins have all the momentum right now. The Washington Capitals have almost lost their team identity going back to the nation's capital for Game 5. The Washington Capitals have so much to figure out. Their power play, their defense, trying to figure out some offensive schemes to get, more pucks on net, because now back-to-back games, the Capitals really haven't been able to put pucks on the net. I mean, only 19 shots tonight, and then let me pull up, if I can only do such a thing, pull up Game 3 really quickly. Nope, that's the Capitals in Game 3. Tuukka Rask did face 37 shots, but that's in double overtime. I mean, that's in double overtime, facing 37 shots. And yes, granted, double overtime, Samsonov did face 43 himself. But for the Capitals in Game 3, a lot of that's those shot attempts came early, and Tuukka Rask was able to kind of hold the fort down. In Game 4, the Bruins really were putting their shots on consistently all night. Where in Game 3 they kind of struggled early, but then put on the pressure late in the game. Capitals here in game 4, like I mentioned a little earlier, only had like 4 or 5 shots midway through the second period. They went shotless for like 18 or 19 minutes or whatever it was at one point in this game until they finally got a shot on net. And to end the game with only giving up 19 shots for the Bruins, you'll take it. Oh, now it's 20. I guess, they went back and checked and they now credited the Capitals with 20 shots as I keep refreshing the page, as I'm bouncing around from team to team or whatever. But you'll take that. You will absolutely take that. And then the Capitals did get a lot of pressure late in the third when they, had 6 skaters when you only had 4 when they were on the power play. But also midway through the third, after they scored their first goal when it was 3-1, they put a lot of pressure on you then. And things got a little dicey there as well, but you were still able to hold it down. Did not let their heavy offensive pressure affect you the slightest, as you were able to keep them out of the net, which obviously resulted in your winning. So absolutely fantastic game from the Boston Bruins here in game 4. And I do want to mention game 3 a little bit. I won't go too much into it, but obviously I will mention it. Oh, that game. Game 3. Game 3 was on Wednesday. Kim and I were at a pub in Buffalo for that game, which you will see on our Buffalo trip vlog part 3 that will be coming out shortly. I do have part 1 out now, so definitely go enjoy that if you wish. But game 3, oh goodness. So the first period we saw no goals. And then midway through the second, I believe, I lean over to, this was before the scoring, I lean over to Kim and I said, this feels like a 1-goal game. I felt like, 1 goal is going to win it. No, I'm sorry. No. I take that back. It was 1-1 at the time. It was 1-1 at the time. It was just really back and forth, really nutty. A lot of hits, a lot of shots. And I lean over to Kim and I was like, next goal might win. Next goal might win. And, Capitals get the next goal. And I'm like, oh no. Whole third period. Kim's like, oh, we still have the rest of the second and the whole third period. I'm like, yes, that's a lot of time. I agree. But have you ever been sitting there watching a game and say, the Bruins give up a goal and you're like, oh, there's 14 minutes left. They got tons of time. Oh, there's, 10 minutes left. There's tons of time. And then you look back at the clock and there's like 4 minutes left and you're like, oh my God, our time is running out. Yeah, that was kind of me in this game. When are we going to score? Then they did score, make it 2-2, and then obviously overtime, we saw no goals until we got into double overtime where, who was it? Craig Smith scored a nice little wrap around the net to sneak it by Samsonov for the double overtime winner. I don't know what he was doing there. I understand it's a part of hockey, and when I was younger, I played goalie in soccer. So in soccer, you can't go behind the net. Hockey, you can. Lacrosse, you can. So I never had that luxury of fielding, obviously in my case, a soccer ball behind the net. So I don't understand that concept, but I do from the outside looking in. And I understand goalies kind of go back there, stop the puck, set up for the other team. But, I even said this to Kim. I was like, Tuukka, stay in the net. Because the other guy, and Tuukka himself were both going behind the net. And I understand that's a part of hockey. I get that. But as we saw Samsonov, it bit him in the ass where he went behind the net to go field the puck. Craig Smith kind of beat them to the spot. Samsonov tried to get back in between the pipes, and Smith just kind of snuck it right in between him and the pipe. It backfired. That backfired. And hey, you know what? I'll take it. I will take it any day of the week. So let me just recap the goals that we saw in Game 3 really quickly. Like I mentioned, Craig Smith had the double overtime winner. He also had an assist as well. Taylor Hall had a goal, and Brad Marchand had the other goal. Patrice Bergeron had 1 assist on 7 shots, with Charlie McAvoy having 1 assist on 3 shots as well, where we saw Kevin Miller with an assist as well in Game 3. And speaking of Kevin Miller, he did get absolutely hammered in Game 4. Ooh, who was it? Oh, I forget who hit him. Oh, someone for the Capitals hit him. Was it Mantha? Hathaway? Oh, one of those. Carl. It's going to bother me. I can't remember who it was. That absolutely railed Kevin Miller. Oh, gosh. Was it Orlov? I'm going to go Orlov, final answer. but don't quote me on it and don't flame me if I'm wrong. So Kevin Miller skating with the puck, winger on his left, winger on his right. He goes in, enters the blue zone, the Capitals' blue zone, and just as he crosses the line, Orlov, or the Capitals player, I forget who it was. I'm like 80% sure that it was Dmitry Orlov for the Capitals, lifts off his skates and like punches his like clavicle, neck area, dropping Kevin Miller completely injured. He was assessed a 4-minute double minor. A small fight breaks out, and Kevin Miller was out for the rest of the game. As he was getting transported to a hospital, he looked fine. He looked dinged up. He looked like he was seeing stars. Obviously, that doesn't equate to fine, but there's no blood, no broken bones as it seemed. He was able to skate off under his own power, which is obviously a very, very promising sign. But, damn, to kind of go down to 5 defensemen is tough. It is hurtful. But luckily, the Bruins were in a pretty good spot at that point in the game. So, did it hurt them in the long run? No. Could it hurt them moving forward in the series? Potentially. I mean, obviously, we have to wait and see if Jeremy Lauzon's going to come back. If not, who's the next guy up for the Bruins? Is it Jared Tenorti? I mean, shit, it might be. It might be. I don't know. But yes, Game 5 will be Sunday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. Really looking forward to the Bruins closing the series out. It's not going to be easy. You can expect the Capitals to go make adjustments, like I said, offensive scheme, play sets, whatever, just to get more scoring opportunities, more shots on net to really test Tuukka all throughout the game, not just in kind of spurts here and there. Penalty. Their power play, I should say. They run the same sets, and it's just also boring. They're just passing the puck at the top. They'll get it to the bumper and the slot, and they'll just get a shot if they're lucky. They had 6 power plays all night, and only 3 of them they had at least one shot on. So the other 3 had no shots. That's half. So for 12 minutes of 5-on-4 or power play hockey, they had 0 shots on half of them. So 6 minutes, they had 0 penalty power play shots. That's a problem. 12 total minutes of power play and 6 of them, no shots when you had the man advantage. That's tough. And then obviously their goaltending situation, I think Samsonov is doing really good. He is not the reason why the Bruins are winning this series. He's not the reason why they scored 4 goals in this game or 3 goals in the last game. Is Craig Anderson going to be the solution to the Capitals' goaltending issues? Probably not. And to be honest, I don't know the health of Vitek Vanacek, the original starting goalie for the Washington Capitals. He did have that groin injury on that Jake DeBrusk goal where he kind of split out in Game 1. Don't know his situation. We'll obviously not know who the goaltender is until Game 5 or 10 minutes before Game 5 until we see who skates on first for the Capitals. But for the Bruins, 3 things I'm looking for the Bruins. Maintaining your play style in this series. The Washington Capitals love to go after players, hit them, be rough, be rowdy, be physical. That's not the Bruins play style. Like I mentioned before, all series, they can play up to that play style if needed. They can take those hits when needed. But that's not their play style. The reason why the Bruins have won 3 straight games and are now up 3-1 in the series is because they are playing their play style. If the Bruins can keep doing that, they should have, I don't want to say no problem, but closing out in Game 5 will be a little easier for them. Number 2, just keep applying the pressure. Keep applying the pressure. More shots on net will result in more pucks in the net. It's just that simple. 40 plus shots on Samsonov in Game 3. Let me get back to it. Okay, let's see. Let's just go over. Okay, so in tonight's game, he faced 37 shots, and in Game 3, he faced 43 shots. And then if we look at Game 2, that's the Bruins. Let me go to the Capitals. Craig Anderson faced 48 shots. put pucks on the net. And then game 1, let's just do it because why not? Vanacek faced 4 and Craig Anderson faced 22, so that is a combined 26, and you lost. Put pucks on the net. It will create opportunity. It will put duress on the goaltender. It'll put pressure on the Capitals defense, where they will have to spend energy down in their blue zone and not in yours. That is a key right there, where you're able to play your play style through putting pucks on the net, whether it's running your offense, whether it's, passing the puck around looking for the most open shot, or just simply just barraging the goaltender with shots. Just put pucks on the net, please. That's 2. Number 3, Tuukka Rask. I mean, he's been playing very, very well. Yes, he gave up 3 goals in game 1 and in game 2, but in game 3, 2 goals, game 4, 1 goal. He's looking really good. And tonight he looked exceptional, making crazy saves, making crazy blocks. And, that's a testament to the Bruins defense playing very well right now. And it's also a testament to the Capitals offense struggling very well. But having a goaltender's mind right, filled with confidence, will help soar you to hopefully completing the series win, right? And it'll hopefully help you kind of soar throughout the rest of the playoffs. Because Tuukka Rask is probably the most important player on this Bruins team. And you can say that about any goalie for any team. If you don't have a good goaltender, you're not going to win. No disrespect to Yaroslav Halak, but last year he did have his ups and downs. He did have his moments, but ultimately, in the end, he did kind of fumble the bag, and he was a reason why we ended up losing that series to the Tampa Bay Lightning last year. So if Tuukka's mind can be right and he's playing the way that he knows, which I mentioned at the beginning of the series and the beginning of the playoffs, if Tuukka can play like he knows, he's a top 3, maybe top 5 goalie in this league, or I should say top 5, maybe top 3 goalie in this league, and you will win series. So I'm looking for Tuukka Rask to hopefully play right and great yet again here in Game 5 on Sunday. Those are my 3 big takeaways for the Bruins that I'm looking forward in Game 5. Hopefully, come Monday's episode of Murph's Boston Sports Talk, we do not need to talk about a Game 6. Hopefully, we don't have to. Right now, Bruins are in a commanding 3-1 lead. They need to win 1 game in the next 3 games. Hopefully, they can just do it in Game 5. Hopefully, the Capitals will just fold. Hopefully, the Bruins will still have their number and can just outplay them in every facet of the game, as we have seen kind of in Game 3 and definitely here in Game 4 for sure. Really would like to just kind of talk about the series as a whole on Monday and who we could potentially see in the next round, as it is the Penguins and the Islanders right now. And just to take a quick sneak peek in, Game 4 for them is tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, where the Pittsburgh Penguins are up 2-1, as the Islanders won the first game and the Penguins won games 2 and 3. The series is in Long Island, so the Islanders will have home ice, but does it really matter in hockey? Not necessarily, but just to peek our nose in there, just to see what's ahead if we do get there. But I do not want to get ahead of myself. I refuse it. I refuse to get ahead of myself. 3-1 lead doesn't necessarily mean the series is over. You still have to go out there and execute, and I have full faith and confidence that the Bruins could do so. But one team, you guys know, I'm not going to beat around the bush. You know exactly where I'm going to go with this. As I talk all this praise and all this glory about the Bruins, of course I have little to no confidence about the Celtics in their series against the Brooklyn Nets. Nope. None at all. I really don't. Game 1 tomorrow, though, in Brooklyn at 8 p.m. tip-off. Game 2 is Tuesday the 25th at 7:30. And then the series will switch over to Boston for Games 3 and 4. Game 3 Friday. I hate how they have 2 games, 2 days in between sometimes. Like, that's so stupid. It should just be game off, game off, game off. That's so stupid. I hate how they drag out playoff basketball series sometimes. Oh, it is so freaking annoying. Okay, well, What am I looking forward to in this Celtics series? Don't get swept. That's what I'm looking forward to, is don't get your ass swept. Please and thank you. Celtics are 0-3 against the Nets this year. Do I have a lot of confidence that they could win 4 here in a matter of a 7-game series? Not really. Not really. You have one potential superstar player in Jason Tatum. Meanwhile, they have 3 superstars in Durant, Irving, and Harden. Say what you want about Harden and Irving. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Now, if the Celtics can go out and play against the Nets in all potential games like they did against the Warriors on Tuesday, they have a shot. I'm not going to say they're going to win the series, but I'll say they'll have a shot. They could steal a game or 2. I ultimately don't really see the Celtics getting past 5 games. I'm just going to be blatantly honest. I'm not going to be a green team. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, if they can just, split the first 4 games, home and home series, so now it's 2-2, maybe steal game 5 because they have the momentum. And then, game 6, they're back at home. They could win. But if they don't, anything can happen in game 7. I'm not going to sit here and do that to you. I'm not. I really don't know what area the Celtics are better in. Maybe head coach. I'll give you head coach. How about that? Comes down to X's and O's. Brad Stevens is obviously better than Steve Nash. But right now, besides that, what area are the Celtics better than the Nets? Now, there's probably some statistical, little analytical thing out there where the Celtics are better than the Nets. I don't know. Dribbles per game in related to shot attempts. I don't freaking know. Okay? But like a dumbass stat like that, because everything is so analytically advanced nowadays. Realistically, if the Celtics lose the first 2 games, it's over. It's over. If they can somehow split and it becomes a best of 5 and you have home court advantage now, there's a conversation to be had there. There is. Still have little to no faith that they'll do it. But there's something there to talk about because you were able to win 1 game. But how can you turn that 1 game into 3 more? So, like I said, if they're down 2-0 coming back to Boston, I think it's going to be a wrap from that point. I'm trying to be non-biased. I'm trying to be positive, but I'm trying to be realistic. If they go down 2-0, you have to win the next 2. Obviously, you can't go back to Brooklyn down 3-1. You just can't. You can't. Okay? But let's focus on game 1 first. Let's see what we're really up against here in game 1. Because is Tatum going to be able to take on the full power of the Brooklyn Nets? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just hypothetically say that Tatum can match Kevin Durant's production. Let's just say, okay? Just work with me here. Marcus Smart can hold Kyrie Irving, okay? Whatever you think holding is, hold Kyrie Irving. What about James Harden? What about him? Okay, let's put Marcus Smart on James Harden. Well, what about Kyrie? Not having Jaylen Brown is not going to be the reason why you win or lose this. Actually, having Jaylen Brown would be the reason why you win this series, or could be a reason why. But not having Jaylen Brown is not a reason why you're going to lose this series. That's not. Because, okay, you put Marcus Smart on Kyrie, you put Jaylen Brown on Harden, you put Jason Tatum on Durant. Sure, whatever. But do you still have enough? Yeah, you got Kemba Walker, but I mean, I guess he doesn't really play all that great defense, so I guess maybe him and James Harden's a wash. But when you look at it, who would you rather have, James Harden or Kemba Walker? I'm going to take Harden because he can drop triple doubles. He can drop 40 in a minute, and he's good on the offensive side of things, of course. Kemba Walker, who's been up and down all season, he's been looking nice past couple games. As we got closer to the playoffs, and obviously that play-in game against the Wizards, almost around 30 or so points, but any second he takes, the wrong move or he twists, he cuts the wrong way and then he's out, and then It's over for him. It's over for him. You know, I'm trying to give you optimism, confidence, and hope that this is going to be a good series. I just don't think it will be. I really don't. If you can, okay, so even if you lose game one, but it's a close game, there's something there to work with. This first game for the Boston Celtics is going to be so crucial, and it might be the most important game of the series, unless it goes into game 7. All right? Unless it miraculously goes game 7, game 1 will be the most important game for the Celtics. Because it's going to tell us everything. It is going to tell us how much faith that they have in themselves, how bad they really want this, and how good they really are. Because a lot of people are picking the Nets to get to the finals and also win the finals, because the Lakers are in the same spot that the Celtics are in, being the 7th seed, having to face Phoenix. But when you look at that series and you look at, Lakers or Suns, a lot of people are still picking the Lakers because they have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and them boys out there. Meanwhile, you have a inconsistent but playing better Kemba Walker, and a hopeful superstar in the making. Hopefully he can play up to it in Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's going to have to average probably 40 points a game if you want any chance to win in this series. That's just a fact and not an opinion. I'm sorry. But yeah, a lot of people have the Nets winning the NBA Finals, or at least getting there. And in order for them to do so, they got to go through you. So are you going to let that happen? Or are you going to roll over like a dog? Or are you actually going to play Boston Celtics basketball and beat this inferior franchise? Because do not forget, almost 10 years now. It's almost been 10 years. Crazy to think that. It's been like it's been like 8 now. That the Celtics fleeced the Brooklyn Nets in that Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce trade to get 6 draft picks back, get bum players for 2 aging Hall of Famers who are almost washed up. Oh, and Jason the Jet Terry. So, but now they're the 2 seed, you're the 7 seed, and they're closer to winning a finals than you are. And they got fleeced 8 years ago, and they didn't have lottery draft picks. They didn't have top 3, top 5 draft picks like you had. Granted, they went out and they spent money and they're winning their championship because, if they had the roster that they had 2 years ago, they wouldn't be the 2 seed. But you know what? It is what it is. People, for some reason, want to play in New York. I get it, big market and all that good stuff. I've been to New York, Times Square a couple times. Not a big fan of it, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. People love the market of New York, the life in Times Square, and all the good stuff that New York has to offer. Not saying that Boston is better, but it is what it is. People want to go to the big markets. New York, Los Angeles, Miami. You could even argue Chicago, sure. Boston, it's kind of that second-tier market. And that's kind of why we had problems drawing in free agents. We did draw in Al Horford. We drew in Kemba Walker. We didn't draw in Kyrie Irving because we traded for him. Oh, Gordon Hayward as well. And you struck out on Kevin Durant 5 years ago. However long it was, 6 years ago, whenever it was. That's nothing about you. It could be more about the city. Maybe it is about you. I don't really know. But, I'm kind of getting off topic here. Celtics, Nets, 8 p.m. tip-off tomorrow, Saturday. Really looking forward to it. Like I mentioned, Game 1 will tell us a lot that we will need to know of how this series will play out. At the start of the Bruins series, I had so much more confidence that they could beat the Capitals than I do the Celtics beating the Nets. That's just my thoughts about the Celtics and the Nets series. But I want to hear yours. Reach out to me on social media at Murs_BostonST. Or if you're watching on YouTube, please leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear them as well. What do you think about the Celtics-Nets series, as Game 1 is just 22 hours away now from the time of recording? I'm very interested to see what the people of Boston and the New England area have to say about that. Switching over to baseball, let's just talk about the Sox really quickly. I know, game in and game out, it's hard to kind of keep up with them because they're playing every damn day. They're not in the playoffs. It doesn't really matter, but it kind of does, grand scheme of things. Red Sox right now are currently, let's start with the game. Let's go with the game first. They are currently winning 8-3 as they play the Philadelphia Phillies in Philly. So wow. Bruins are playing in DC. The Celtics are playing in Brooklyn, and the Red Sox are playing in Philly. Wow. They're all, obviously not the same market, but, they're kind of close together, Pennsylvania, New York, and, the DMV area. Anyways, Red Sox up 8-3 against the Phillies. Let's see. Standings. Let's jump to the standings. Sox have a 1-game lead on the Rays, a 1.5 game on the Yankees, and a 2.5 game lead on the Blue Jays. Red Sox just left their series with the Blue Jays as they won 2 out of 3, so they're able to gain a game on them. Checking in on the Yankees real quick. 1-1 in the bottom of the 9th inning against the White Sox in their first game against the White Sox, so that's something to keep a lookout on. The Rays, they are currently 5-5 against the Blue Jays in the top of the 6th. Okay. And then, like I mentioned with the Red Sox, you are 8-3 or 8-3. Oh, middle 8th now. No runs in the top of the 8th. Let's see. How did we get here? Oh, Danny Santana is making his Red Sox debut. So we signed him off waivers, I believe. I forget from where. Texas, maybe? And he went through waivers. Sox claimed him. Went to the alternate site down in Pawtucket, now at Worcester. And injuries kind of pop up. So, hey, we need him, man. His first game, he's going to be the first baseman hitting, leadoff. Is it his first game? Let me check. I think it's his first game. He's a super utility guy. He plays infield, outfielder. Yeah, set for Red Sox debut Friday. So it's good to see him up. He is 1 for 4 with 1 run and 1 RBI. Interesting. Alex Verdugo is 3 for 3 today. 3 hits and 3 at-bats with 2 RBIs. Enrique Hernandez hitting third. Oh, no, he went in for Verdugo. I was going to say, what? Okay, anyways. JD Martinez, he is 1 for 3 with 2 runs and a walk. Bogarts, 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Devers, 2 for 4 with 1 run and 3 RBIs. Vasquez, 1 hit and 4 at-bats with 1 run. Hunter Renfroe, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Marwin Gonzalez, 0 for 4. And Martin Perez, 0 for 3. Did we expect much there? I don't think so. But speaking of Martin Perez, he went 6 strong innings, giving up 3 earned on 5 hits with 7 strikeouts and 1 walk. Can't complain with that line right there. But yeah, and I just kind of noticed this, but the Philadelphia Phillies gave up 3 errors. So, I don't really know the whole box score of such, but could those 3 errors turned into 8 runs? Sure, maybe. But you know what? Play defense. It's part of the game. And speaking of part of the game, do we know about that whole Yermin Mercedes 3-0 count grand slam against, I don't even know who the hell it was. Who was it? Who did he hit it up? I'm trying to look it up really quickly. Oh, goodness. Oh, against the Minnesota Twins. That's right, because the big new Bartolo Colon guy. Williams Astudillo, something like that. I kind of had to look it up, and I can't even pronounce it because I'm a little stupid. But, yes, when was it? The other day, the 18th or so, maybe the 17th. The White Sox were up. It was the 17th. The White Sox were up 15-4 or something like that. They were blowing out the Twins in Minnesota. Obviously, a position player comes on the mound. Astudillo kind of pitches a little bit. When I say kind of, I mean in blowouts, whether it's one way or another. Excuse me. And nice little slow pitch curveball. I don't know. It was 3-0, whatever. Does it really matter at this point in the game? No. I guess Mercedes got the take sign from the dugout, and he went to go crush a grand slam on a 3-0 pitch. Now, this is a very similar situation. It's actually pretty much the same situation that Fernando Tatis Jr. faced last year when the Padres were in Texas playing against the Rangers, and they were up by like 10 runs or whatever late in the game, and he too had a 3-0 count. I don't even think he got the take sign, but it's quote unquote one of those unwritten rules in baseball. And he hit a grand slam. And then he came out to apologize about it. And Yermin Mercedes, I guess didn't know or like, was going to face consequences about it. But it's like, it's baseball. Stop complaining. It's baseball. Seriously, like, you guys are grown men here in baseball. And I kind of want to point out what Trevor Bauer said about the situation. And then I'll jump back to what Tony La Russa said, because I think what Trevor Bauer said is so much more important than what Tony La Russa said. Tony La Russa is the White Sox manager, and Trevor Bauer is a pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, which I'm assuming we all know, but you never know. There could be people that don't know. And I just want to try to make sure I cover all my bases here. But anyways, let me pull up the quote about Trevor Bauer, because I loved what he said. I absolutely loved what he said about it. So this is what Trevor Bauer said. Dear hitters, if you hit a 3-0 homer off me, I will not consider it a crime. Dear people who are still mad about a hitter hitting, kindly get out of the game. Can't believe we're still talking about 3-0 swings. If you don't like it, managers or pitchers, just be better. Now keep in mind, we are talking about the Major League Baseball, MLB, professionals. This shouldn't be acted upon like it's Little League. I mean, Trevor Bauer is completely right. It's just, if we're going to care about people's feelings, then you go back to Little League. Go play softball, adult softball. I'm not talking about like professional softball. Slow pitch softball, whatever. That's where you go care about feelings. Having a good time, just shooting the shit. Now, I understand there's a thing about respect, sportsman, all that good stuff. Dude, stop. It's pro baseball. People make a living in this game. Yermin Mercedes was an up-and-coming kid last year. This year, he's kind of broke out onto the scene. He started off super freaking hot, kind of cooled down. But in a couple years, he may be out of the league. We don't know, okay? Him hitting a grand slam, kind of padding his stats, kind of making himself look better when it comes time to reevaluate his contract or even his just playing status. You really gonna take beef with that? You're really gonna get upset over that? And the guy on the mound is a positional player, so his ERA doesn't matter. His roster status will not be determined based off his pitching record. It's going to be based off of if he can hit the ball, if he can field the ball or not. That's what his status is going to be determined about, not his pitching status. So why does it matter? He's on the mound because the Twins gave up 15 runs and they were only able to score 4. So, if we're going to feel bad about anything, we should feel bad about the Twins fans for having to watch that game. Go into the game all excited, like, oh yeah, Twins, White Sox, little rivalry, maybe get something sparked going. We're struggling, but hey, listen, we're playing the White Sox. Let's get a good one here. And then they only score 4 runs. 4 runs, fine, whatever. You can get excited about 4 runs, sure. But you gave up 15. If it was, 25-0 and this happened, I would probably still feel the same way about it. Because it's pro baseball, Major League Baseball. And there is no crying in baseball. So I do want to kind of jump to Tony La Russa, the manager of the White Sox, what he said about it. Tony La Russa was, quote, upset that Yermin Mercedes hit a home run on a 3-0 count last night. Obviously, this is from a few days ago in a blowout win. Quote from La Russa, he made a mistake. There will be a consequence he has to endure here within our family. Come on. Seriously? I understand Tony La Russa, one of the greatest managers of all time in this league. Has, I don't even know how many wins. Let's look it up real quick. I know it's well over 1,000. Is it close to 2,000? Let's find out really quickly. He has, oh, Jesus. Oh, I was so off. My God. 2,753 wins in his 33 years as a manager. He also retired for a little bit, and then he got back into coaching. So maybe even picture another 300 wins on that. He has third most wins of all time behind Coney Mack and John McGraw. Okay. So I was very off. At least I said it was over 1,000, right? I was kind of right. He's been around the league, and he's seen a lot in 33 years of coaching, but he's probably been in baseball more for like 50. And this is what you're upset about in all your years of being in baseball. This is what you're upset about. I don't get it. Like, I love what Trevor Bauer said, because this dude is just looking at baseball the way it should be looked at. When Fernando Tatis Jr. hit that second home run off him a couple weeks ago in that first Dodgers-Padres series of the season, Fernando Tatis Jr. was running around the bases covering one eye, because in spring training, Trevor Bauer, said oh, I'm going to strike you out with one eye closed, and he did or whatever, and he, showboated about it. So Fernando Tatis Jr. showboated by running around the bases with one eye closed, big backflip. At the end of the game, Trevor Bauer was like, he got me. He deserves it. If he wants to showboat, he can. He beat me. It's like, that's the kind of attitude and the mindset you need to have in baseball. You can't go crying to your mommy and daddy that you gave up a grand slam when you were getting blown out. Or you shouldn't be crying that you're beating your divisional rival. Now, I know the Twins have kind of fallen off a little bit in the American League Central. But let's just quickly look at the division. White Sox this is currently now. I mean, I don't know what it was a few days ago, but currently now the Twins are 11 games back in the division. Is that grand slam really going to matter to them? No. Was that grand slam going to matter to the White Sox? No. So yes, I understand the whole sportsman thing. Baseball is a very respected sport. I understand that. But come on. Come on now. Let's just play the game of baseball for the way it is and just move on. There's no need to make this big of a deal, because it's going to happen again. And when it happens again, are we going to look for that player to get on the podium before the game and say, listen, pitcher, I am so sorry that your team sucks and you were down by 10 runs in one game last night. And I'm sorry that you sucked for going down in the count 3-0 to me. And I'm sorry that I'm a good hitter and I destroyed a meatball that you thrown to me down the middle, and I crushed it 450 feet. 450 yards, holy smokes. But yeah, 450 feet, you know what I'm saying. So I'm sorry that I'm good and that my team is good. And I'm sorry that your team is buttery ass and you suck. Do you accept my apology? Do we really expect this to happen? The same thing with the Padres and Rangers last year. Padres are a good team. They were up big. Rangers are a bad team. They were down big. Does it matter? Let me know what you think down below, because I'm done ranting about this. I think it's absolutely stupid. I think Trevor Bauer is completely right, and that anybody that thinks that hitting a home run, whether it's a grand slam or just a home run, 2-run, 3-1, doesn't matter, on a 3-0 count when you're up by 10 runs is unsportsmanlike or, disrespectful. I think stepping on the white chalk in between innings, going out onto the field or coming back on from the field is more disrespectful than that. Walking across the pitcher's mound when you're not a pitcher, whether you're, walking around the infield or whatever, or if you say you hit a fly ball and you're halfway to second base and you have to go back to the dugout and you run across the pitcher's mound, that's more disrespectful than the whole home run thing when you're up big. Come on. Let's just be realistic here. But seriously, let me know what you think down below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on audio-only platforms, definitely reach out to me on social media. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions about this, because clearly you know how I feel about this, but I want to hear what you have to think. Am I the only one that feels like this? Or do I have people backing me up like I'm backing up Trevor Bauer on this situation? But nonetheless, that is going to do it for today's episode. Sorry that it is being released a little bit later. I do apologize for that, but like I said, I do want to kind of watch the Bruins, soak that all in, and get the episode out there so I can talk about Game 4 like I was able to, instead of more of a Game 4 preview, if that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully, come Monday's episode, we can talk about the conclusion of the series and what to look ahead for against maybe the Pittsburgh Penguins. Who knows? And also come on Monday, we'll have a good idea of what that that's Celtics Nets series is going to look like. But at the end of the day, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the beautiful weather. It's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow here in Rhode Island. Let me just get a quick double check. It's going to be, it's going to be 91 on Sunday, and it's going to be 84 on Saturday. There's supposed to be some rain, I think, one of those days, but it seems like it's gone. So 84 tomorrow, 91 on Sunday, and then back down into the upper 60s on Monday. So enjoy the beautiful weather. Be outside, do something fun, and I will catch you on Monday's edition of Murph's Boston Sports Talk. But until then, you know the drill. You know that I love you, and I will see ya.